The Boys Season 4, Episode 7 review. What was the ending? Like, what was it? I guess that's probably the best way to start with the ending. So, obviously, spoilers. So, get out of here if you haven't watched the episode yet and come back later. That ending, let's talk about it. So, we literally saw, like, probably like the midpoint of the episode, that whole point of where they were trying to pretty much, what's it called? They're going to that place, right? To pretty much try to find this person that was linked, like the shooter, pretty much, right? And when they went there to go look for the shooter, they came across this woman, right? That was in the closet because she apparently was saying her story was that um, she was like put in there by the people who took her husband, who they thought was the shooter, but it turned out no. As soon as she got out, she faked it. She faked acting like she was like I guess like a victim, and then she literally just like she she literally went crazy on Huey. You know, slit his hand open, and then there's like a whole chase scene with her and Butcher, Huey, Starlight. They ultimately fail to get her, but in the process, we see that she's actually a shapeshifter because she shapeshifts into one of the like elderly women that was like in her way when she was trying to leave. And then by the time they come outside, she's gone. They don't know who it is because she's shapeshifter, so she could be anyone. And then later on in the episode, fast forward later on in the episode, we see Starlight take a picture of a fan when at the pub, and then we find out a little bit later when Huey's having his dream near like the end of the episode of let's say his fantasy dream, and then then it cuts to him like actually sleeping because he was I guess dreaming. At least that's the way I don't know, maybe I'm misinterpreting it, maybe it wasn't a dream, but the way I interpreted it was that it was a dream, so maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. It's kind of 50-50 on that because I first thought okay, and they showed it to him sleeping. I'm like okay, so it must have been a dream, or maybe they're showing after. I don't know. But I just interpret it as a dream. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know down below. And then we see the Starlight get up, and then um get up, and then open up like the safe or whatever, and then get out what seemed to be like a laptop, if I'm not mistaken. And then yeah, then she also and then like as she's like walking towards like down the hall, then we see the eyes. We see the eyes shift, and then it's all making sense because the person that Starlight met, um, like the fan at the pub, was actually a shifter. So when the shapeshifter like pretty much touched her, like when they were taking the picture, that's all she needed to turn into Starlight. And then they also showed that after they took the picture, um, pretty much just like put the thing on her where she couldn't breathe, and then like kind of like poisoned her in a way. And yeah, and then the shapeshifter just put Starlight in this like random place where no one's gonna obviously find her. And now she's impersonating Starlight. So the damage that's gonna be done here is insane. There could be a lot of damage. Who knows the implications? No one else knows right now. No one else, at least from what we've seen, has a suspicion that Starlight is an imposter. That the shapeshifter is Starlight. No one knows right now. So this is gonna be insane. So pretty much there's a mole right now in the boys, and they don't even know it. So the implications of this like could be like this could really be detrimental. It is detrimental. We don't know what's gonna happen, but they gotta find out, and I think they will. But yeah, this could like that twist could arguably be the most like insane twist because the amount of damage that could be done just like from that. But then also the other thing, I mean, my other favorite moment was probably the A Train reveal. Finally got the reveal. I mean, we knew, but you know what I mean. The seven, they finally got the reveal that A Train is actually the leaker. He's the leak. And obviously Homelander was like surprised, he's crying, etc. But Sage knew. She said that was a part of her plan, but Homelander's like, nah, I'm not falling for any weird tricks because he thinks that she's his captain. And then he just dismisses her. He's like, you're lucky that I'm not leaving you like in blood today or whatever. And he dismisses her, and then then as she's walking out, there's actually a funny moment where um, they pass by Noir and the Deep after this got beaten up by A Train and the boys, and then the Deep's like, "Oh, where are you going?" And then she kind of just like ignores him, and then and then Noir just starts like saying, "Man, I always want to tell you this, but I love you," and then they figure And then they figure out both of them getting played. At least that's the way I interpreted it. Both of them have been getting played pretty much. So yeah, Sage is doing some crazy stuff. Yeah, that's wild. What happens next to Sage, I don't know, but if I were to guess, I'm guessing Sage turns and she helps the boys out in season 8. I mean, season 8, episode 8, not season 8, imagine. Yeah, but I think she'll help with the boys in episode 8. That's my prediction. I don't know, I just have a gut feeling about that. But yeah, back to the A-Train reveal. It happened in that moment when, um, like, the boys, Butcher, who's a Butcher, Starlight, they came back, and obviously they're like, in the home base, and the Deep's just sitting in the chair. He's like, he's just been waiting for them, and he's like, Homelander sent me on a mission to, finally get rid of y'all. And then Black Noir shows up from, behind, and then they're like, damn. And obviously they're trying to get the weapons they can't. And long story short, they're losing the fight. Butcher's trying to get his, activity that like special power of his to activate, but it's not obviously. And that could be in part to him disobeying what's it called, Joe. And it probably is because later on in the episode we see that um, Joe's like, nah, this is like a two-way street. So like, if you're not gonna listen to me, I'm not gonna listen to you. You know what I mean? Sort of like that. So that's now it makes sense why I wasn't like working that. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Yeah, and then A Train and A Train MM, they come in, and A Train literally just shoves the Deep out of the way, and the Deep's like, bro, and then Noir's like, damn, no way. They couldn't believe it. They're like, you're the leak. And then A Train like confesses the feeling for the Deep, saying, nah, I never really liked you, man. You're just annoying, whatever. And then yeah, the A Train's clutches up. They literally go on to win the fight, obviously. Um, the Deep literally gets knocked out by Starlight, and then they actually had an interaction that is a callback to the previous seasons with their let's say relationship. Um, so that was also good. But also throughout this episode, there's also like a ton of like references to last episode, references to last episode, uh, the Tech Night one, the Tech Cave. So people are saying that's filler episode, which I disagree with. You would need to watch that to get pick up on the references from this episode. So yeah, because that episode actually had a lot of important things that kind of trickled over into this episode. So yeah, if you haven't seen that, I recommend watching that one because yeah, it was pretty let's say weird to say the least, but nonetheless, I thought it was a good episode. Still had a lot of impact. But anyways, Adrian finally reveals himself there, and yeah, they later on beat the Deep and Noir, and then that's when they show up, beating up and stuff at Fought. And another good moment in this episode. Oh, and then also with MM, he was originally just gonna dip, right? That was his plan to just absolutely dip with his family, because that's what his wife wanted. But obviously, A Train came to him, and then he's like, "You're gonna leave, man." He's like, "No matter what they're gonna find," he's like, "I wish to leave too, but they're still gonna find me. The only way to do this is to beat them in the battle, just battle them and win. It's the only way." And then obviously that's what happens, and then that's the way A Train convinced MM to come back, and then that's why you see them together when they save Butcher and Starlight. And I guess another good moment in this episode was actually one of my, I think it's probably my favorite moment, was when Kamiko and Frenchie were, actually, let's talk about Frenchie. Butcher literally gets him released. Butcher literally got him released, and then Frenchie's like, yeah, this wasn't, uh, my choice. It wasn't on, so, Butcher just did it. And obviously the CIA connections Butcher has, he, got some stuff to go through, and it worked. And then Frenchie got out that way. And I don't know, I feel like it kind of like just, I'm thinking about it now in the episode. I'm like, okay, this is cool. Let's go. Man. Frenchie's back. But then also, now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, this kind of like, doesn't just like pretty much undo everything you did before when he turned himself in, like kind of like that. Because like I know he didn't try to like he didn't get out himself. Like he wasn't like begging them to like get him out. It was Butcher. But, like I feel like in a way it still does like undo some of what was done before in the episodes. But also in a way, later on it was kind of worth it because then we see, like I said, that scene of Kamiko and Frenchie where they're looking over Samir, the doctor, who's trying to make the virus to kill Homelander and Newman. But of course, Samir, he knows better. He's very intelligent, so he can already like just smell the lies through them. so he knows they're gonna use it for more than what they're saying, aka to kill Newman as well. So he doesn't want anything to do with that, and yeah, he pretty much baits him over to come like, look, I finished it, blah blah blah. I finished the virus, look, and then yeah, Kamiko goes over, and then what does he do? Gets in and stabs her right into her leg. And at that moment, I'm like, no way. I'm like, is she gonna die? I'm like, there's no way, bro. Nah, you can't be serious. There's no way Kamiko dies here. I'm like, if Kamiko dies and A Train's still alive, bro, that'd be the craziest thing. Like, if Kamiko dies before A Train, I'm like, nah, man, stop this madness. But luckily, um, she didn't die, but we did get a cool sequence. Oh man, oh my god, why am I forgetting the song? Why am I forgetting the song, bro? Why am I forgetting the song? The song name. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows the song. Yeah. Okay, you've watched the episode, you know the song I'm talking about. I don't know why I'm forgetting right now. But yeah, it's such a well-known song. Just a banger, absolute banger. But yeah, I just really like that scene where they like kind of like the montage, I guess, in a way. And they have the music over the scene where Frenchie's pretty much saving Kimiko by amputating her. Obviously, you have to cut the leg off, to stop the virus from spreading. And that scene was intense. I'm not gonna lie, that was a very good scene. But also, I thought another good scene, and the music with it was just made so much better. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what it was. That was a perfect choice of music. Like I've realized a lot in this season, the music choice. Whoever choosing music to put over, like man, what a well done job. Like they picked the perfect type of music to like for the perfect type of music for the perfect type of moment. Like it just captures it so well. I don't know. I was like noticed that throughout the season, like that little type of thing. Um, what else? Yeah, back to the MM and A Train scene. I'm like, damn, that was like I'm like, damn, that's kind of an emotional scene. I'm like, damn. MM was explaining his side. He's like, man, can't, man. My family, they've been trying to do this too. Like my dad, and then my dad's dad, right, his grandfather. He's like, it just doesn't work. It all goes like one way. And he's like, look, I'm deteriorating now too, just like how they did. He's like, I want to be down this path. And obviously, now with the recent, developments with his, panic attacks, another reason why, you can see from MM's side why he wouldn't want to be a part of this anymore. Would actually want to exit and just go off somewhere, be in peace with his family. But as we know, that didn't happen. And I guess another interesting thing is Butcher throughout this episode is fighting, obviously, Joe. We didn't see Ryan's mom really throughout this episode. I don't know. Usually we do see her like at least once per episode, but this time we didn't. And this has been Butcher pretty much fighting uh, the evil this whole episode if you think about it. And then the boys are finally picking up on him talking to himself when he's actually talking to Joe, obviously. But from their point of view, he's just talking to himself. And also another huge thing. I don't know how I could forget this. There's so many things that happened in the episode. Like, yeah, I don't even know if I said it, but yeah, I'm gonna forget a lot of big things in this episode. But yeah, Butcher, he sees Ryan go on TV. Also, we saw earlier in the episode he was doing rehearsals for the Vought Kids segment, I guess, with the Muppets, or sorry, the puppets. Um, but yeah, he obviously didn't. He wasn't even feeling it. And his dad told him to suck it up, and then that just put him over the edge. So then when they actually the actual thing on live TV, Ryan's like, nah, man, I'm not having this, man. And then he went on to kind of do like a monologue, and he was about to expose them. He was talking about his mom, talking about Butcher, his love for them, and then he was about to go say something, and then he restrained. I'm like, damn. I'm like, come on, Ryan, go off. But now Ryan's turning back to the other side. So was it last episode? I think it was last episode where I thought he was going. I made that episode before where I thought he was going Homelander side. Now this episode is going back to kind of like Butcher's side. So he's like flip flop because he's a kid, right? So he's very like he can get like I don't know. He's very what's the word? He can be like when you're a kid, you can be like persuaded very quickly. You know what I mean? So it's very hard to realize which side to be on, and that's happening. He keeps on kind of going like both sides because he doesn't really know what side's right, and it's kind of like what happens when you're young. So he's kind of just trying to figure out life, I guess, in a way, with all this madness going on too, with Homelander, Butcher, obviously the passing of his mom, all this madness. But yeah, he was about to expose stuff, but then he restrained, and just walked off the set. And Butcher's like, "That's why I have faith in the boy," and he's talking to Joe. He's like, "Yeah, take that, Joe." And then what happens? He stands up, and then he feels dizzy, and then he falls, and then he's like blacked out. And also there's people in the pub saying, "Call 911, 911," and then that's where it kind of his segment ends right there. And what else was there? Kamiko, A Train. I think I talked about Huey, Starlight. Starlight finally, got back in the suit. That was another thing. But that's all I'll say. I'm not gonna talk about the rest because that was wild. um, what else was there? Homelander and Firecracker still got more of their arc. Oh, the Deep. He finally had enough. He was like, nah, Sage is the one, and then he finally had enough of the octopus, and he just he just went crazy. He literally just like broke. He literally just he just broke what do you call it? The tank that the octopus was in, and he's like, yeah, just go die. And then that's pretty ruthless. I'm not gonna lie. It was an emotional scene because I forget that voice actor's name, but she's a very well known actor or actress, and yeah, they got her for the role. So her voice acting was like brilliant. So it just made it even better. And the Deepest episode, he got actually pretty good amount of screen time. He had a really good role. Like Chase is always killing it each time. Like his scenes might be honestly like probably the hardest because he's like just talking CGI or like talking to no one. Same Butcher this season's talking like no one sometimes. Well actually they probably CGI that. I mean do some visual effects. That's what am I saying? That's what they do. So Butcher doesn't have that. My bad. But yeah, the Deep he actually has CGI stuff, so he's talking to himself a lot of the time. It's pretty hard because you have to time it. And yeah, so big ups to him. Yeah, the Deep did that, and then obviously later on find out he's been getting he's been getting finessed by Sage. And then we saw another reference, I guess, to the Tech Knight episode, the Tech Cave episode, was Webweaver. They thought maybe Webweaver Firecracker's like, look, Homelander, I got the leak. And it turns out to be Webweaver, and Webweaver throughout the conversation Homelander, because he was so scared, he just kept on let's say just you know releasing some substance because he was so spooked. And that's what happened. And then Homelander, he Webweaver is known for lying to like I said, he's known to lie so he can do anything to get his drugs, get out and do drugs. But yeah, Webweaver caught himself in two lies actually, then kept us changing his story and stuff. And then Homelander's like, nah, I've had enough, man. Regardless, I don't know. And what's he do? He just gets his arm, he just gets Webweaver's like shoulder kind of, and just like tears it apart. And then you just see like God, the blood going on Homelander's face, some of the blood going on Firecracker, and then you just see his body tearing. Like you can see like the like I don't know like the inside like a detaching. You know what I mean? It was insane. Like just the boys, man, they're just so good at doing those type of scenes where someone's body's getting absolutely like folded, or not folded, like freaking played with, where someone's bodies is getting absolutely like manhandled. I mean, it looked great though. But yeah, this episode, this has been a great episode. I'm probably just gonna wrap it up here. I definitely forgot about stuff, but it's a jam-packed episode, man. It's too much. This episode, I mean, the videos have been going long enough, but I'd probably give this episode like honestly like a 9 out of 10. The pacing was phenomenal this episode too. Like the entire episode throughout, the beginning, middle, end had big moments, and yeah, so much went on this episode. Obviously, this was the penultimate episode, so we knew it was gonna set up the finale, but now the stakes are getting even higher, and who knows what's gonna happen in the finale. Please, I'd like A Train. They're making so obviously A Train's gonna literally like they revealed it now, but third season they made it so obviously A Train is gonna be the one that's probably gonna die, to the point where I'm thinking maybe they do a bait and switch, but I don't know. I don't know. I hope they do, but I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. I'm 50-50 on that. But anyways, I guess episode 9 out of 10 is really good. Pacing was great. It was jam packed, and I can't wait for the finale.